welcome to A Gem of a Secret podcast. My name's Donatella My Secrets.
And my name is Coco Gem Holiday.
How you doing tonight, Coco?
I'm one cloud deep, and so she's feeling frisky.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if frisky is the actual thing that white clouds do to me, but she's feeling frisky.
I smoked a blurnt.
I'm just going to be making up words on the podcast. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a blunt, it was a blurnt. I haven't decided the difference yet inside my head, but this was definitely a blurnt and not a blunt.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, how is your bike?
It's lovely. It's fast.
Well, tell people what you got.
I got an electric bike.
Okay.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's very fast. It zooms me around really quick, and I like it better than the scooter. It's more comfortable. I feel like it's going to be more efficient to get to work when we move to the new location, and yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, it looks really big and scary.
It's very big and somewhat scary, but I'm getting used to it.
But she also built it herself.
Yeah.
It came in this just big box of just pieces.
And it was like, here, assemble it. And then I had to have Adam tighten all the pieces because I'm apparently frail and weak. And he's like, actually, I just have better hand strength than most people, and it's genetic. And I was like, oh, cool.
Cool. Whatever lie my husband tells people. So, Donna, what are you wearing this evening?
Well, it's funny that you mention that my electric bike, because I am actually just dressed as a bike.
I was wondering what the handlebars were, and I was kind of alarmed by that.
I am literally the village bicycle tonight. Everyone gets a ride.
Yay.
What about yourself?
Well, now, as people, and my mom probably feels, they're like, oh, my son drinks too much. I have now collected all the White Claws that were around the house, and I have made a dress out of the White Claws. Watermelon is my bust area, and then all beneath my feet is lemon, because it's the garbage flavor. Garbage flavored lemon. I just don't like lemon. It's just not fun.
Yeah, I recall it being a bad flavor when I drank so long ago.
Yeah, it's not the greatest flavor.
So long ago.
It has been a long time.
I mean, it really hasn't. But I mean, I'm going on 7 months. So
congratulations.
Yeah, or I just passed 7 months. I'm going on 8 months. Oh gosh, it feels weird. Time is just going by. Yeah. But I'm excited for the time when I can say it's been a year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's super exciting. The only other update that I have, listeners, is that in my life right now, I'm still getting ready for Trash Gummies at the end of the month with the Vixen, but I'm also getting ready for my cruise here in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So there will definitely be pre-recorded episodes where it's going to sound like I'm here, but I'm not actually going to be here.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. But I'm super excited for that, and it's coming up soon. But before I get into 2 more things, I need to ask Donna, how are you doing this evening?
Oh, Coco, I will let you know after this brief break.
It's a podcast with Coco and Donatella podcast. Tune into What They Tell You podcast with Coco and Donatella podcast.
Well, Coco, I'm feeling a little emotional, and you want to know why?
Why?
Because we have one of the very best entertainers, producers, the producer of Drama Camp with us tonight, Rogue Storm Safari.
Hey, Rogue, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Doing really well. I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to be here.
Yeah, I haven't got to talk to you in a long time, so it's nice to hear your voice and just have a conversation on our podcast.
Absolutely. It's been a while. I think the last time we actually got to talk just a bit on our little hike was at the Rooster Rock.
The Rooster Rock, one of my few public appearances. I've become quite the recluse.
Oh, you looked so good. I'll have to post a picture from that night. Shut up. You looked so good. It was so crazy. She was wearing this stupid ass hair that made her look awesome. It was this cut thing.
My mullet,
The mullet with the hair. It was just really great. I'll post a picture so our listeners can see it. So, Rogue, tell us where your drag name came from and how long you've been doing drag.
Ooh, okay. So my drag name is 2 things. One, I absolutely love the X-Men, and Rogue is my favorite. Her evolution in the comics from being a villain to how they made her this down-home Nolans girl. That literally, like, I just loved that transformation and how they use her powers. I like to think that I take things from people whenever I watch them perform, and so I implement those things into my numbers. That's mostly Rogue. Storm is... I think middle names have power, more power than people realize. And so I always thought it's Rogue, Storm, Safari. I can only put my Rogue Safari on Facebook, but Storm is my other favorite X-Men, but their character arc is also different in the MCU. It's too much to get into for this podcast.
Yeah, it really is.
But Safari actually came from a drunk lesbian in North Carolina. When I was 18, I went to East Carolina University, which was rated the #1 party school in Playboy some years back. Super, like, the quote was, "We party hard, but we study hard too," which was the T. But there was this lesbian, and obviously I was 18, so I had a dry dorm, and I went to their dorm, and she was already toasted. And I said, "Hey, my name is Stefan," because that's my legal name. And she was like, "Safari?" I was like, "Oh, no. No, 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 no." Literally the next day was my first appearance, like, where I was gonna be like, "Oh yeah, no, this is drag. I want to try drag out." And so a little 18-year-old me was like, "Let's put the X-Men and this drunk girl together, and what do you got? Rogue, Storm, Safari."
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so funny. And
the X-Men and this drunk girl.
I don't know if you've ever heard Zachary call my name out in public, but he's always Safari, and it just reminds me.
Oh my god, I love it.
And I've been playing drag since I was 18. Sorry, I didn't answer.
Oh, okay. So I did. So this is something that we didn't actually talk about in our pre-show, but Rogue actually does nails, and her business is called Safari Claws. She actually does a lot of drag queens' nails in the city, from what I remember. You've been doing it for a while now, haven't you?
Yeah, actually, I've been doing it since I've been in school, so it's been about almost 2.5 years now.
Wow, that's kind of amazing. And you have some good nails. You have some real good nails.
Oh, thank you. Most of the time, folks are just like, "Do whatever you want." I'm like, "Well, that's what's perfect. That's what I need."
I love it. Getting into, because I just thought about that off the top of my head. So you are Portland's premier producer of multiple different shows, but more iconically, you're the producer of Black Magic, which has been around now for how many years?
It started in September of 2018.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
That's awesome.
Local
awesome.
It was
where I started it. I went and I talked to Rick, and then it's been history. That's it.
Yeah. It was the first show I ever saw in Portland. Was
Oh,
Black
beautiful!
Magic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it was the one that Coco performed in, and your show was the very first show I saw in Portland at Local Lounge, and it was such a beautiful display of Queens of Color, and it's so cool that it's been going on for that long.
Oh, thank you, baby.
In the show, obviously, it was Devlin Lynn Phoenix, Shandy Evans, Lexus Lynn Phoenix, and I think Ellie might have been in it. I'm not sure.
She might have. I don't.
Yeah,
maybe
it might have been Ellie, but that's who was in the one that I was in when I came to visit.
Yes,
And
I remember
March
that. Ellie was supposed to be in that one, but she didn't make it.
Yeah, it was a really cool show, and I remember I heard like pounding upstairs, and Devlin was like, "Oh, that's just Lexus just twirling on the ground."
Yeah.
Amen.
Oh God, I love her. I miss her. She quit drag, actually.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, but she's beautiful. But
She is.
so what was it like when you first started this? Because I actually heard some of these stories, but I'm going to let you share them for our listeners. What was it like, and what were some of the trials and tribulations you had to go through to even throw this show? And when you first started promoting it, what were some of the feedback you got from the community?
Oh my gosh, Black Magic has been through quite a bit. When I first started it, it wasn't like I've told you this when talking about shows at local before, but like I come in with a business plan, um, and I didn't want like I think that's initially where my issue started with everything is like I was treating it more like a business plan. Um, it was like I wanted to provide a space for people, but I have to have these numbers in order to get that space. Um, when I initially started it, I had a budget of $120 to split amongst everyone. It was me, Devlin, Bougie, and Kimberly for the first one. Sorry, I had to go back for a second. But Kimberly Michelle Westwood. And it was absolutely fabulous. I don't think, like, the one thing that I think a lot of people misunderstand is there were a few shows that were POC centered, but not exclusively POC, except for Hot Chocolate. And Hot Chocolate, I believe, was once a year when I started doing Black Magic. So it was like, you know, I kind of want to celebrate black folks and other people of color more than that. And they're like, Hot Chocolate, the level of talent with that was what I was striving for, because it's just like I want that legendary number to hit the stage. I want that iconic performer to hit the stage. I want to celebrate the blackness that they work so hard for, or not work so hard for is. Let me rephrase that. They worked hard to put that on the stage, because a lot of the people that came before us didn't always have it easy, and so it's like I just wanted to create a space where we could all have it easy. Enjoy ourselves, be ourselves, do everything that we wanted to do on any stage in Portland, but are always told, well, I need you to do this number, I need you to do that number, so on and so forth. When I first started promoting it, it was, I mean, I was making the flyers then, but I was a novice little baby gay making them posters. So it was, I was just like, look at it, and someone allowed me to put my little, oh god, I was so bad. It was like a black and white cutout of me and like a fur thing that I made. It was just, it was a mess, but it was so cute because there was such an outpouring of love at that first show, and that's what kept it going. I think after that, it was just like other people started realizing, oh yeah, no, this is fun. This is what we need. This is like, we're celebrating us. Let's go ahead and go celebrate. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess
that makes a lot of sense. So for Donna's knowledge, because she wasn't there, so this last Black Magic, we actually moved it inside because the first starting attendance wasn't super cute, and then it got a lot cuter later. But it's one of those moments where Rogue, I remember Rogue was on the patio, and it was like me and Devlin and someone else. We were all just talking about it, and Rogue was like, well, guys, I'm worried because, paying everybody and stuff like that. And me and Devlin, it was just Devlin, actually, I remember. And we looked at her and we're like, we do this show. Oh, it was Kisses. Kisses just walked up. Kisses Ash, Diana Fire's track daughter, and said, they're like, no. We do this show because we have to. This is the show we have to do. The show we want to do. This is the show that gives us what we need. Like this is that show. Like, so we're like telling Rogue, like, don't worry, because for us, Black Magic is always just like kind of a party. Like, especially this last one, I was on stage with Devlin Lynn Phoenix, and we were being the epitome of so stupid that I was just laughing the whole time. I was just like, and we finally got Linda Jo, who just moved from Milwaukee to perform, and she did everything and a half, and just made us all feel quake in our boots a little bit. And I remember Devlin got up there, she's like, "All right, she's a Rogue. Don't book her no more. She's not allowed back."
Amen.
It was. So,
I love booking people like that.
It's so good. It was so fun, and it just so. On this podcast, I just want to say for our listeners, like, Black Magic will continually be one of my favorite shows. It has been, not just because it was the first show I performed in. It speaks to my soul a lot. And it's gone from local and went to CC's for a while until CC's closed because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then Rogue brought it back over to local lounge, which is beautiful because it gave us that stage again. And right now, it's currently been mostly all just black people, which has been cool. And Rogue just recently started Black Trans Magic, which immediately follows, which people are in love with that concept and idea. And I just told Rogue this last Saturday that it is going to be now considered one of the recurring shows that happens at local.
Yeah. That's
so
amazing.
she has 4 now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she's busy.
I want to check them out when I'm back in the scene. Because it's such a showcase of excellence, and props to you, Rogue, for creating it. Really.
I absolutely love it. And speaking on Black Trans Magic, like, that was Coco. You have to tell the truth about this too. Coco's like, we need to do another show. We have to do this, and you need to put trans people. And I'm like, Coco, you mean to tell me that I can do a Black Trans Magic? And she's like, I need you to. And I'm like, yes, baby. I feel in my heart that Black Trans Magic is a whole separate show in and of itself, because it's not just Black trans people; it's trans people of color, which I don't think a lot of people realize is a large portion of the Portland community.
Yeah.
However, getting any of them to accept a gig, girl, I'm trying to get everybody booked. So whoever's listening, get everybody.
It's been a little bit of a struggle, but she actually has Stephanie DuPont Shade hosting it. And the last one I went to, Stephanie had these like these heartfelt moments with audience members. Like it was really powerful. Like I'm encouraging people, because actually that show did really well its first month. And it's done really well. It's just, I really want people in this community, this larger Portland community, to come out for that show.
Support.
That show will change your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when Stephanie was hosting it last month and having those beautiful moments of like, hey, this is what happened, but we gonna get over this now. I'm just like, come on now. That is that black magic that I'm talking about. Like, that's what we need. It's not that everyone needs to be on a stage, like, telling everyone, oh, hey, we over this bullshit now. No, I believe that is only the goddess herself, Stephanie, that can do that, or Alexis Campbell Star. But my God, it was just breathtaking to see just such love and reconvening of our identities together as a POC community. It was beautiful.
It was. My final story about Black Trans Magic before we go on to Drama Camp is I was walking inside. I told Stephanie, I'm really like, because everybody knows on this podcast that I identify as bigender, and that show is for trans people, but people also that fall under the Trans Asterisk umbrella, and focusing primarily on people who are trans. And so I was walking inside, and Stephanie said, so you're performing next? I was like, no. And I was like, no, I'm not. And she's like, no, I put in a number for you. I was like, no, I'm not performing that. And she's like, no, you are. She's like, you are bigender, and nobody in this community ever seems to recognize that. And so you're performing next. I already told Adam. I was like, no. I was like, and then she's like, and I went to the back of the room. I really thought she was joking. And then like a song I knew just started playing, and she said my name on the microphone. I was like, this son of a.
You had no choice in the matter.
I was like, my wig wasn't even pinned. I was like, I'm gonna lose my hair.
Baby, I was already ready to go to sleep, and she said, no, you about to get on the stage. She did the same thing to you she did to me. She said, Adam's got your number. I'm like, what do you mean Adam has my number? My phone number? What do you mean a number?
I feel like I recall someone doing that to me once.
I don't seem to remember.
Oh, really? Really? You don't? Okay. All I'm saying is what goes around comes around, girl.
It does. It's kind of the whole thing. So, Before we move into drama camp, I have to say this is another just it's a compliment about Rogue. So Rogue is probably like one of the best ballad performers in the entire city. Like she takes home all of the available cash in the entire tri-state area from doing a ballad. And I remember me and Devlin were saying at this last Black Magic, because Rogue never puts herself in the set, like ever. And then, like, Rogue will get, like, a cocktail, and suddenly she's feeling her Black fantasy. And she's like, she always says, I'm going to do a number. And I'm like, great, I guess there's no money for the rest of us. And then she did a number this last time at Black Magic. She raked coin. It was flying from the rafters. I was like, I didn't even realize there was this much money in the world. I was like, what is happening? So,
I was thinking that while I was performing. I'm like, where did this come from? Thank you.
Rogue's like, I'm just gonna buy a car with the amount of money I just made in this number. It's fine.
I actually gave it to all the other performers. I gave that money. Like, I literally, like, took all the money I earned that night, and I was like, well, everybody getting $30, and I felt so bad.
Yeah, because it was a little bit of a down attendance just because we switched weeks. But to get on to Drama Camp. So Drama Camp is a show that Rogue produced, started off with Diana Fire before COVID hit, was a show that started for the theatrical camp and comedy. And what's really cool about this is a lot of people don't know is that Rogue is actually a theater nerd. She loves musicals. She loves camp and comedy. She has so many dynamic numbers that go into that. So this was just a perfect show for her to produce. And actually, it's one of the few shows that kept Local Lounge open during COVID. And the reason I wanted to bring it up is Donatella was actually a cast member for many months.
I was before I quit drinking and stopped doing drag. Yeah. It was definitely Rogue. It was totally my favorite show to perform at because I am also very theatrical and I love everything about Drama Camp because I love being able to channel my emotions on stage and have that authentic moment with the audience. And I feel like you and I can relate on that level because you do it like tenfold though. Like you are so good at doing it. And I don't know. I've always appreciated that about Drama Camp and about you as an entertainer as well. And I also want to ask you a question. While Drama Camp was, like, while we didn't have a space for it, you were doing Drama Camp live. So I kind of want to know what were, like, some of the challenges you had with doing a live show during, the pandemic, and then also with getting Drama Camp up and going again when things started to open up.
So during the pandemic, that's a difficult question. So I wanted to keep doing Drama Camp because I love Drama Camp. Like, I literally am a theater kid. I've grown up doing musicals in random theaters and churches all across the South. And it's just like, that's a part of me. And so during the pandemic, I was like, we still need to keep this going. And I did, but it was also like, it's the same issues that I had prior, is just getting things in on time. I think a lot of people, like we're talking about now, people don't understand I do a lot. I produce 4 shows now. I make nails. I'm a full-time computer science student who graduates in December. It's a lot. So it's just like when I ask people to get things in, that was always the issue with COVID specifically. But then after that, it becomes an issue of promotion. So it's always like, I think that's one thing that a lot of people misunderstand is, like, as producer, I produce the event, I get everything together. I'm not a promoter. So I pay my talent to promote themselves, which is pretty much, I mean, when you get on stage for 5 minutes, that's what we got. But it's just like Drama Camp, I needed that to keep going, but I needed everyone to get everything in on time. I needed to make sure that, like, YouTube wouldn't take the video down. Like, there was so much stress behind it, so when everything opened up, I was just like, can we please, I don't care what I have to do. Let me do this show here. And it was
Yeah.
also like this. It was the same thing too for Black Magic. Honestly, it was just I wish I could have had enough time to actually put Black Magic online, but instead I had to produce. Or it's not that I had to produce, but I wanted to produce Black Pride, and that's what I did. So it was just like the struggles are just making sure you get things on time. You make sure that YouTube doesn't hate you.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh,
then
we
going
definitely.
forward, right? Exactly. Like going forward from the pandemic, we kind of like I ramble a lot, and I apologize. Y'all asked the wrong one for it. Ooh, you might want to let people know that I ramble.
She rambles, listeners.
They're gonna love you regardless.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. Oh my god. But baby, literally just I think it takes a bit for people to realize, especially in Portland, like I am a producer. I like to make sure that events are fun, safe, organized, and put together. And I'm going to have myself a cocktail in the back and watch it happen. And then hoes like to bring me on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That hoe is sometimes in the mirror, Rogue.
no, well, no, because no. You don't understand. Literally, there are people in the audience that come to the shows and they're just like, Brooke, why aren't you performing? And they scream at me. Baby, it's usually you. You usually the one.
I do. I create space to like be like, oh wow, I wonder what we're gonna do next here at this show.
Oh, that is sweet. That is sweet.
I do want to just compliment you again, and I promise I'm not trying to kiss your ass, but
Oh, you're fine, baby.
I want to say, both with like Black Magic and Drama Camp, your shows are really like a therapy to people, and I think I always felt that anytime I performed at Drama Camp, and I know that the like really amazing entertainers of color that are included in Black Magic probably feel the same way about that show as well, and you know, I want you to know that it really like enriches all of our lives to participate in those shows, because there is like a certain magic behind all of the stuff that you put together, and it really it's amazing for the audience, and it's amazing for us as entertainers, and I just want to say like thank you for doing all the hard work that you do with those.
Oh, thank you. You can't hear it, but I'm blushing beyond compare.
I like how this podcast isn't really an interview, it's just us telling Rogue how great she is.
It is, honestly,
Like,
it
it's
is,
just-
and there's no problem with that. This is a celebration of Rogue Storm Safari, and that's okay.
Oh, and there's the title.
Oh my goodness.
We always get the title somewhere in there. Because it's true, and like I know that there's some other subjects I want to touch on with that, but Drama Camp has become a really cool show, and yes, I forgot that it was online for a while, and that was the best online video I ever made. I used it quite a few times. Because I realized that online drag is horrible in the sense of how much work you have to put in. I don't have good video editing skills, and so that was really challenging for me. Matching up lyrics to my mouth was also really challenging. Just all of it was just really hard, and there wasn't a lot of payoff too, just in the sense of like not financial gain. It's just that like there was like this like era of like people just. Like, the first time when digital drag started...
That's digital drag in general, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When digital drag started, people were so excited to, like, have this outlet, and people were making money doing it. And then people were just like, oh... Like, they'd, like, turn in for the first couple of acts, but then, like, well, I'm going to go order a pizza. And so I was super happy that what naturally happened with Drama Camp is that as people were getting really, like, you know, overworked with it, like, the bars reopened. So then it was just like, oh, cool, we can go back to doing this in person. This is so much better.
Yeah. I mean, although I think there is, like, a niceness to doing some digital drag, too. Like, putting some content out there definitely tests your skills as, like, a creative to do that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, and actually, this is what was cool about it. I learned, as much as this sounds really self-deprecating, I learned that I'm really not good at video editing. Drag has a lot of skills that you have to do in general. And then digital drag was like, oh, by the way, those 30 skills you had to do drag, by the way, you need 10 more. And I learned that I just wasn't good at that side. And that's fine. But that's great. I learned that about myself. So.
Right. That's what the pandemic did to us. We all had to learn something. And listen, baby, I love you so much. But Lord knows, I was like, Coco's not a video editor.
I hate you, and we are no longer
I'm honestly not much of one either.
My very first one was good. I put a lot of time and energy into it after
Yes.
screaming at a computer for a long time. But yeah, the rest of them I was like, I was trying so hard and it just wasn't working out. Especially for video effects.
Oh, amen. And here
That's what he
comes
said, she
Diana,
was-
like, oh, look at what I made. I'm in a green screen room by myself. And you can see my castle, and it's high quality. Did I mention 4K? I'm like, Diana, you're slaying us all. Stop.
Oh my goodness. So, switching gears to something a little bit sadder. So, one of the stories that you often share with people is that you were houseless for a really long time. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, actually, I think it'll help people understand me a little bit more. So in my family, I guess I'll call it a curse, but there's always this streak of struggle. There's obviously, a lot of black folks can't take care of their mental health like they should. And so it's like that streak of struggle comes from that. I've learned. Sorry, I'm almost 30 now and I don't know enough. But that's what I've learned. And I went to a coding boot camp in 2017. I went through it really quickly. They expected it to take me like 6 months. It took me 2.5. I thought I was on the way to getting my 6-figure salary that I needed. And then I started caring too much about my mental health because I had the money to do so. And the company that I was working for said, but no, we need you to not do that right now. You have to work from 9 to 5, not 6 to 3. And I'm like, oh, okay. Notice I said 6 to 3. Work an extra hour more than everyone else. I'm still salary, but they didn't care about that, and so I lost my job. My roommates, which at the time, unfortunately, B was a part of those roommates, they didn't care because I just wasn't making money and I was depressed, so I was drinking too much. They're like, you gotta go. And so I had to go, and I did. Went to go live with a friend. The friend said, your partner's white. I don't like white people. She was a black lady. Powerful black lady. I appreciate her and love her so much for giving me a place to stay. But as soon as my partner came around, she was like, nope, you gotta go because that devil gotta go too. And from there, I literally slept in my partner's car. I asked people to let me stay. For a few months, I stayed with Devlin, which is why I'm so close with Devlin. I think they saw like the worst of it all and were like there for me, which is why I have so much love and appreciation, and I literally will go to war for Devlin. But yeah, I don't think anyone knew while I was doing drag either, because I was still performing full time. I was still producing shows. I was still doing everything while I was sleeping out of car. Like I did everything on my phone. That's why I do everything on my phone now, because I had to get good at it. I think it was just hard because I had to like ask people for places to shower. I had to go. I was at CC's literally from the time they opened to almost the time they closed, just so I could have like a place to be. And they're just like, "We got you, girl." It was hard. And then when B finally moved out of that place, and we got the place we have now, that's when I was like, I need to do something. I want to be in computer science. So I applied to a school that I got into when I was 18. They said, yep, we got you. We're good. Mind you, during the whole time while I was like homeless, like B was the one also driving me around and letting me sleep in his car and like making sure that we got somewhere where I could have like Wi-Fi so I could talk to people and do something and like interact with people. And so it was like, I don't know. That was probably one of the lowest moments of my life here in Portland. I've been homeless before, but it was never like that. Like it was never so rough, I guess. And I
Yeah.
started black magic when I was homeless.
Really?
Yeah, I went and I talked to Rick because I was so desperate to have something that was my own. And yeah.
Wow, I didn't actually. I think I may have known the timeline for that, but that. Thank you for sharing. Like that's
Yeah, thank
That's
you
a-
for your vulnerability with that.
yeah, that's a
My-
really
my
difficult
pleasure, my
situation.
pleasure.
Well, because there's a lot of people that listen to this podcast that I think they could really benefit from that story too.
I agree.
Because you have a lot of success in your life now. Like you have a wonderful, loving partner. You know, you're about to finish school. You're doing well with that. Your shows are doing great. Like, you know, you're making money. Like
Yeah.
you're doing the whole thing. You're really prized. You're successful. You finished successfully completed your years, Miss Sweetheart 32. Stuff like that. Like you had a lot going on. So I think that that's great to show people that with a lot of hard work and perseverance, like you picked yourself up, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to point out though that it is also it takes an understanding of realizing that it's other people too that can get you there. It's not you just doing it by yourself. I couldn't
Oh,
pick
definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. A little bit of help goes
Support
a long way.
is so important. A support
Mhm.
system. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, and having good friends, and that's awesome for Devlin. And Devlin is one of my favorite people, and like, I got to hang out with her recently, and she really is like really kind-hearted and good-natured.
Yeah.
And she also has a bunch of like her own little neuroses, and is like trying to figure it out all the time too. But talking to her, she's just so human. That's
Yeah.
what I love about her, and she does seem like the girl who's like, oh yeah, come stay at my house. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
she good
Yeah.
people.
It's not just about
She's
the
really
job
cool.
with her. It's like the job is the thing, but it's also like when you actually talk to her. Who are you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, thank you for that vulnerability. That
Thank
was really
you.
cool. Yeah. So we're gonna get into our next topic of conversation as we get a little bit closer to the end of our podcast here. How has it been being? What? So has your relationship been affected at all because of your drag?
um. In the beginning, it was so like before I became homeless and I lost my job. Like I started doing drag. I was going to Tonic Lounge, and my roommates were like, "We don't want a woman to live here." I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" First of all, secondly, I'm a person that does drag. Okay, my makeup is in the fucking bathroom. Jesus Christ. What are you going to do about it other than scream at me that my makeup is in the bathroom? It's makeup.
Yeah.
Where does it belong? Anyway, men that did not want to have a woman in the household doing drag, like at first some of them started coming out with me and then they just stopped altogether. And then B was like, I like men's. I like the men's. What is this? What is this? And I literally, I'm not gonna lie, it took a long time in the sense of like trying to explain like I'm still a person. Just because I put makeup on and a hair and outfit, like that doesn't make me less of a person. Now I've come into being able to talk about my non-binary identity, but it's just like at the time it's just like, baby, that's not the tea. Don't tell me that just because I do drag, I'm not good enough all of a sudden. Do you see the ones that I got in my purse?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
deep.
Like, it was so much. And then now he's just like, but I know that I'm in a relationship with the best drag queen, so what does it matter? I'm like, yes!
Yeah.
Yeah. B is one of the good ones. I really
Yeah,
like him.
right? He's one of the
He's so
good ones.
sweet. Yeah.
And
But
actually, there's not a
he
lot
had
of
to
other good
learn.
ones.
Yes. I still have my selenite wand gift that I got from when we came over to dinner at your place.
Yes! Oh my God. Yes, I love it.
It's on my altar with all of my other precious gemstones that I collect. But yeah. I love that. I love it has the notch like a wand. Yeah.
Yes, I told him, I was like, I call it the woo woo, and I'm sorry, baby, but he loves the woo woo too. I'm like, yes, you better be giving these people the stones, girl.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so
Oh,
great.
I love it.
Yeah, he's good. I really enjoy his company. As we get to near the end here, my question that I ask all of our special guests,
Yes, the most really important question.
riveting
that we
question, is if you got into a bar fight, what 3 drag artists would you want in your corner and why?
Ooh, okay, so Coca, I'm gonna go ahead and start the list off with you. I'm not gonna lie, like we have, well, baby, I think we're sisters, because we think a lot alike all of the time. I'm just like, oh my God, okay, Coco. Yes, Coco, come on, tell me the tea. Give me that advice, honey. Come on. I would literally be like, Coco, what's going on? You better, you coming over, girl? And then Takara Campbell Starr.
Hmm.
She is a sister to me. And I literally, like, if anything goes down, I know she'd be like, Rogue, what's up? And I'm like, hey, listen. I don't know about a third one because it's just like, I don't know. I'd be the type of person that's ready to throw down for anybody if they ask me to. I don't care about which side you're on. Let's go.
Yeah, the two's pretty good. That's a good
The
list.
2 is Stephanie also included Takara.
Stephanie did include
She
Takara,
did. Yeah.
which is
Because Takara's the T. Takara is a
Yeah.
real one.
oh
Yeah.
my God, I've seen her almost get into fights, and like she's just not the one to mess
She's
around
so,
with.
she's so cool.
She is cool. She is one of my favorite people in all of Portland, and I actually
Yeah.
don't even know her super well. Like I just really enjoy her company. The other common denominator that people always say is either Atlas or Shaniqua.
Yeah.
Listen, I was like Shaniqua's my third, and then Atlas was also my third, and then Alexis was also my
It's hard
third.
to decide.
Right. Because I'm like, I know I would have all of their backs, but they'd also be like, what's up? Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm just wow. Yeah, those like
Mhm.
Takara's a good one. I
Yeah.
really like Takara.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions for Rogue?
I don't. All I can say is that it's just been such a joy talking with you again, and yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. You're a badass, and you're such a pillar in this community.
You're killing it.
Thank you, baby. Thank you so much.
We don't want to make Rogue cry. So,
I know, I've been crying all day, girl.
no. What are your socials for the kids? Social media for the kids.
My
Yeah.
socials are Rogue Safari, no space, no underscore, nothing, all lowercase letters on Instagram, Black Magic PDX on Instagram, and then Rogue Safari on Facebook.
Lovely.
Don't follow me on Twitter because y'all don't want to see the accounts I follow on Twitter, girl. It's
Oh,
mad.
girl, same.
Same.
Same with that.
Same.
OnlyFans has like become like just so much fun for me. Like,
It's a great experience.
not because I have one
OnlyFans.
and produce content.
Right.
I'm not there yet. Like maybe I'm not writing it off completely though.
I mean, we all have a
Amen.
journey,
Amen.
right? Okay, so that's good. So everybody, please support Rogue Storm Safari's show. Right now, she has Drama Camp on the first Saturday, Black Magic on the second Saturday, followed closely by Black Trans Magic Inside Local Lounge on the second Saturday. She's also starting a new show called Lip Sync Battle, which I think is going to be on the. There's a Thursday it's going to be on. I think it's the second, maybe or the first. First Thursday.
But do you know how much people want to prove they know how to lip sync?
A lot,
Oh,
actually.
I mean,
A
it's like tempting me to come back.
Yeah,
Yes!
I'm really excited to see how that works out. And so that's going to be Rogue's fourth show. It's Lip Sync Battle at
Nice.
Local Lounge. Follow her on social media to get all the deets and details. So thank you so much for coming on, Rogue. Thank you, listeners, for listening.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for listening to my voice, darling.
Baby.
This has been another episode of A Gem of a Secret podcast. The hosts of A Gem of a Secret podcast are Donatella My Secrets and Coco Gem Holiday. You may follow Donatella My Secrets at Donatella_My Secrets on Instagram. You may follow Coco Gem Holiday at Coco Gem Holiday on Instagram. Original music by Touche Douche and Party Favors. You can follow them respectively at The Touche Douche and at Party Favors Music on Instagram. For more exclusive content, visit www.agemofasecretpodcast.com. That is AJEM of a secret podcast.com. Be sure to tune in every week on Thursday for a new episode wherever you listen to podcasts. If you have any comments or questions, email us at agemofasecretpod@gmail.com. Please don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye.